from the new recording lair located deep beneath the Wine and Spirit store in Ephrata, Pennsylvania.
You're listening to the Masonic Lite podcast.
Studio 665 presents Masonic Lite podcast. This show is recorded by Masons, for Masons, and is for entertainment purposes only. And please, no wagering.
This podcast is not endorsed by any Grand Lodge, and the ridiculous ramblings of the hosts are their own. And now, here's your host.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 76.
76.
Larry, we're officially older than you now.
76 trombones led the big parade.
So welcome, everyone. It's been the past 2 weeks have kind of flown. Just busy. Just busy, busy, busy. So tonight we're going to talk about what we like to call the 5 aspects. Do we have a name yet?
No,
Maybe we'll figure it out.
We're making this up as we go along,
and then we'll name the episode after we're done.
So this is going to be a quasi-serious episode. So if you're here for laughs and giggling, sorry.
Tune back in at the end.
Just fast forward to the chickens, and you'll be fine.
So
this is going to be another.
Except the news, that's going to suck too.
The boys at the Masonic Roundtable, watch out, we're coming for you.
Who said that?
we're not that serious. Josh, what have you been up to Masonically? Josh, the intern,
I know
producer.
what Josh has been up to.
I went to chapter 43 with Larry and Jack.
Ta-da.
And Larry and I both got the Royal Arch degree.
Ta-da.
Congratulations.
Yeah, quick, give him a petition for council.
We could get you... If you feel like going to Sunbury in June, we can make it happen.
Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, Scott Helm was at Consistory on Saturday. Was trying to talk me into going to Williamsport or Sunbury or where?
Sunbury, yeah.
Yeah, Sunbury with them for that. I thought, get out of here.
So refresh my memory because I'm a bad Royal Arch Mason. In the first degree, in the Royal Arch, is that where you get paid your wages, or is that the
Mark
next?
Master?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Wow.
If any be due.
Larry was paying attention. Look at
Wow,
that. Damn, son.
Wow.
Nice.
All right. So welcome to the Red House.
Yeah. The red rum.
There we go. Red rum.
Red rum.
Jack, what have you been doing?
I was helping to confer that Royal Arch thing.
Maker's Mark degree.
The Maker's Mark degree, exactly. That was the big thing, and I broke a 14-year radio silence at Scottish Rite.
Welcome back.
I went to Reading, and I sat in the audience, and I saw the degrees,
The plays.
the skits.
The skits.
Hey, what did you think of the Last Supper one?
Well, Larry, the half-faced man. That was, I don't know. That was it was so moving that I had a movement. Yes.
So Larry,
No, wait. Let me qualify that. I'm glad I went. You guys put a lot of work into that. There's a lot of people involved with it. I wish there was more feedback, from the audience side on that stuff. I wish there was some conversation about the degrees that were put on. I think as they're resetting the stages, that might be something that they look at in the future is, what did you just see and what did it mean? And let's talk about it a little bit instead of just, okay, we're going to take a break and 30 minutes later we're going to come back. I think that would be a good addition, but I don't think it's ever going to change.
be the change, Jack.
No.
Once you become...
I've been enough change. But then what else did I do? That was the principal thing. What I'm getting ready to do is kind of cool. I'm traveling to Germany on business and made contact with a lodge in Germany in the city that I'll be in. And so I hope to go to a a lodge meeting over there, and they seem very welcoming and receptive, and I will see what that looks like.
We'll hand out our business cards, and
I got a whole stack of them.
there
right
we go.
MasonicLite.com.
Larry?
Well, Royal Arch, of course, was in the 18th degree. I played the part of.
No. You can't. You can mention the degree.
Okay.
But you can't mention degree, or that you can mention the part. You can't mention them
okay,
together.
18th degree. All right.
There you go.
But also was up there from, I guess, about 8 o'clock in the morning. I think I left early, about 3 or 4. I don't remember exactly. As a stage crew, or actually property management crew in the back of the stage, bringing all the furniture out. Now, here I am, 75 years old.
You couldn't move your own furniture.
I can't move. I can't move
But you're moving temples.
I can't move my body. And I'm moving furniture around. Nice. So it was a training day for me. And I'll tell you, it's quite...
It's a terrific amount of work.
Really a lot of work, because basically when you're getting ready for your scenes to change, you've got to get everything together on carts. And as the curtain comes down, you're rushing getting new scenes out. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Valley of Reading, you might want to get Larry to sign a waiver. I'm just, if you've got him hauling things around. As a former safety professional, I would just kind of like maybe throw that out there.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't think they're going to let me do any real serious stuff. So.
Well, your acting was immaculate. You didn't get a single word wrong.
Yes, that's right. I didn't, did I?
That's perfect. Did you just shake your head, or what was your...
No, it was one of those picture scenes. No words were spoken. It was just the actual picture scene.
Okie doke.
I think I saw a noise. There is our special guest.
Oh wow. Whoa!
What's up?
Oh my goodness.
Entering the studio at 665 right now is our good friend Joey Dougherty, who's just back from his
a date with Lucille.
A trip to Los Angeles, where he did some very cool things that he will tell us about.
So weird having you ASMR right in my ear hole.
What?
Jack.
I'm right there. I'm usually in your face. Now I'm in your ear.
Well,
I'm
welcome,
like an
Joey.
earworm. Welcome back, man.
Hello, Larry, Pete, and Jack.
And Josh, do you know Josh?
Have we met once before prior?
I think you have, yes.
I think so, too. Back at the other place. Yeah, nice to see you, Josh. Oh.
So Joey, Joey was on an earlier episode. Since you kept it a secret, I can't, off the top of my head, and tell you what episode Joey was on.
You don't have them indexed in your brain? Come on now.
But, so catch us up. Are you a graduate now?
Very close. I have 2 semesters left. I have summer and fall at Berklee College of Music in Boston. And it's so strange. We don't go by this whole freshman through senior style program.
Well, why would you at a liberal
it's not
institute
only,
like that?
It's not only that, but historically, people haven't taken the traditional route at that school, with most people only doing maybe 3 or 4 semesters tops. I was an unlucky, untalented one that I had to stay all 8 semesters. But I did a 5-year program, which is 10 semesters in 2.5 years. Thanks to
the math is really
I can't
tough.
follow that math. I'm
so
sorry.
Half as many.
I think one of my ears just gave out. It's like
half as many. So yeah, at the end of the calendar year, I'll be finished. So
very cool. And then explain to us what you were doing out in California. That was really cool.
I was looking for apartments. No, but seriously, I'm moving out there in January at some point. After graduation, I was playing guitar. I've been playing guitar for this band that Jack has seen a few times. We've been opening up for Eddie Money. It's called Redwood Honey. They are like an Americana roots rock band.
Very fun.
We had a few dates out there. We played for the Gibson guitar people and at this place called the Mint, like this legendary club out there, something like to the Whiskey and the Roxy, if you're familiar with rock clubs. But yeah, we had a few dates there. Then we also had a record label screening, which I can't talk about at the moment, but we'll go ahead and say that went pretty well.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, we had a good time, and everybody. There's a famous radio DJ. Maybe we can send this to him and get him to start promoting the podcast. Matt Pinfield from MTV.
Yeah, I remember. Metalhead or Metal.
Okay. Yeah, he became a really close ally of ours over the past few weeks before we went there, and he was kind of like our liaison in the city, and was taking us around places and showing us things. And people from Warner Brothers came, and it was this big hubbub, and they graciously allowed me to play Lucille, which is B.B. King's guitar.
I saw that on Facebook, dude. I almost dissolved when I saw you playing that.
I didn't know it was his. I thought it was just one that he had signed. Because really? I walked into Gibson and I play a Fender Telecaster, and they go, "Well, that's not happening here. So you have to." They said, "You got to play one of these off the wall," and I said, "Okay, cool." And they said, "Any one of them." So I went through the myriad of all the guitars on the wall. I didn't like any of them, actually. And I liked this one particular one. I put it aside. But I said, how about that one? Because I saw it had BB's signature on it, and it was dusty. And they said, no. That's not the one you get to play. And I went, oh, okay, whatever, fine. And I didn't think anything of it. And I said to one of there was a chick there that was like a higher up who was fabulous. And she was like, no, you take that one. Take it off the wall. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I plug it in. Half of it didn't work, actually, because it hadn't been played in years.
It didn't matter.
Years. And evidently the last person that I'd played it was like 6 or 7 years ago, and it's just been on the wall since. And she was like, oh, well, that was BB's. And I was like, oh, my God.
Wow.
That's absolutely crazy.
That's nuts.
But anyway, I got to catch up with some Masons last night. I saw Tom LeBaugh and a bunch of people after the Lancaster Lodge of Perfection meeting.
How many secretaries have shaken you down for dues?
Dude, all I'm saying is this.
I'm a college student, man.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's none of you guys have e-pay for anything. And I have lost my checkbook a year and a half ago. And I wasn't ordering new ones because, I don't need a checkbook anymore.
What's a checkbook?
And,
I don't know.
Oh, God.
So I guess that's a whole generational thing we may need to address.
You think?
So, I mean, literally the only thing that I ever have to pay with my checkbook are Masonic dues. Honestly,
I
mean,
agree.
bills online, my rent.
So what you could do?
I could go down to the guy and he'll
block of marble and carve it out like Fred Flintstone.
Right.
That.
Well, then I need one of those big blue hats. If you guys can do one of the big water buffalo hats.
Jack, if you have our Masonic Lite checkbook, he can PayPal you money and then we'll pay.
Okay, fair enough.
It's money laundering, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I'll send you and it won't even be here's Venmo, for this.
Venmo.
I'll Venmo you $1,000, and then it'll be here. I don't know what I'm a part of right now.
Come back to me in 5 years.
You figure it out, and then let me know what I'm missing.
Got it.
But that's funny. No, I saw a bunch of people last night. It was really nice. But
cool. So I mean, last time we talked, your educational focus was more going to be on the production end.
Sure.
But things have been working out kind of on the other side of the microphone.
Well, so the thing is this. If you want to play music, a pretty famous engineer told me this. If you want to play music every day and be a musician for the rest of your life, you can do that. But you have to wear 400 hats. I said, well, lucky enough, I'm a member of an organization that has 400 hats. So okay. But,
we all have funny hats.
Yeah. But no, he goes, you can do that. You're gonna have to be a session guitar player. You're gonna have to own a studio. You're gonna have to be an assistant. You're gonna have to run coffee for Pamela Anderson. You're gonna have to.
That would suck.
You're gonna have to do whatever. You may have to sell records at a record store for a little while, but you can do that. So I've been doing this gig as a guitar player for this band. And I really like it, but I still do the same amount, if not more, engineering while I'm in Boston. Currently, I'm mixing a record for a band.
We're looking for a new intern now that we promoted Josh.
What's your starting rate?
0.
He said the word intern.
Yeah. It's very prestigious. You'll probably leave it off your resume.
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
But you were going to do some bumper music for us, which we haven't heard yet. So we're excited to hear from you.
You haven't heard that because I'm doing the 17th degree music currently for the Scottish Rite. It's like a half an hour's worth of music, and I've been focusing on that the past few months.
Are they modernizing the degree, or are you playing 1800s music?
No, so they sent it to me, and it is remarkably similar to the quality of Game of Thrones.
It's the mosh pit degree.
With the fact that whoever the continuity director is, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus because I don't know him, and if you're listening, I apologize. But I thought it was funny how it was like amazing, all of it, and then like in one or two scenes, you could see like electrical outlets like above the temple, like on the ceiling, and you're like, oh come on, like just that 99%
Starbucks cup.
It's killer. It like anybody who isn't a member of the Scottish Rite should check that out when they join in their own time. I'm not pandering for anybody here because that's not my deal.
It's
but
okay if you do.
But if you do join and because I was hesitant about it, I got to admit, you guys have been in the fraternity much longer than I have. But it was like a catch-22 when they asked me. Yes, please, thank you. When they asked me to do it, because I didn't believe that that a degree should be like on tape or on video. You know, it should stay. The integrity of the organization is to pass down the way it should be. Or maybe I sound 55. Maybe
I don't know, but I think if you could do it well.
Yeah, no,
I'd like to see it done well.
It's done very well, and I understand the need for it because there are certain valleys that can't and don't have the production value to do the proper degrees.
And that's the problem. There are valleys that don't have the people, they don't have the building anymore.
Well, that's what we talked about last week. Like, there's valleys that have 200 men.
Yeah,
right.
They and they can't put on a degree well. You're not going to get
all 200 of them to come out and support a degree day.
I was having this conversation with a brother last night on the phone from Boston, and he's been like a district deputy, grand poobah man, purple for the Blue Lodge, district deputy grand master. That's what they call it up there. And
we call it that here too.
That's right. I forgot. I haven't been here in a while.
Ron Carson.
Yeah. Hello, Ron. No, but he had the same feeling. He was like, well, I get it. It shouldn't be, but it should be, but it shouldn't be, but it should be. So he goes, I guess it's a necessary evil. And if you're going to do it, you better bring the best excellence that you possibly can as a Mason to it and give it the best integrity that you have. Because if it's going that way, it's going that way, and you might as well do it right.
Right.
It's like kind of like the very first TED Talk ever. It was most excellent. There we go. Hey.
Dude, you're such a meme recycler.
Yeah, I know.
It's we're the only two that would have gotten that at the table.
And you're even too young for Bill and Ted.
I'm not, though, man.
They're doing a remake.
Be well to each other.
Nice.
Party on, dudes.
So I'll just catch up, then we'll go to break.
Totally.
What did I do? I went down to Wildwood for the Tall Cedars convention. Talk about that more later. It was fun. Tall Cedars is okay, but our time in the motel was a hoot.
Eventually, I will get to a Tall Cedars meeting. I know you've got my money. The check hasn't cleared yet. But
and I did something groundbreaking in council.
Wait, Josh is tearing up the room. Wait.
They suspended me.
No. I told them to hold off.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you.
So I stayed your execution in council. Now, if chapter fired you, then I don't know I can't help you. But yeah, so we actually
don't even know.
In our meeting, we spent 20 minutes after the meeting explaining the Royal Master Mason degree.
No shit.
And it was really, really fun because there's a lot of smart people there, but there's the majority of us that we've just been doing this and we have no idea what we're doing or why we're doing it.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
We had a
That's my thing, man. That's my thing.
And we just had a really nice talk, explain, and people kept, like Seth brought up a few great points. It was a good day. So
that's awesome, man.
Well, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back with our Miss Moss show, back with Joey Dougherty, and we're also going to talk about the 5 aspects or 5 somethings of Freemasonry.
Maybe.
At the Historic Smithton Inn of Ephrata, Pennsylvania, we're pleased to serve the latest creations from Weathered Vineyard Winery, along with spirits from Thistle Finch Distillery in Lancaster. all to be experienced in the tasting room of a beautifully restored 18th century bed and breakfast. Cigars by D&S Cigar are available for your enjoyment in the courtyard. The Historic Smithton Inn is convenient to Lancaster County's most interesting attractions. Just minutes from the Ephrata Cloister and the Green Dragon Farmers Market. And a short drive can get you to charming Lidditz, thriving downtown Lancaster, as well as Hershey, Bird in Hand, and Intercourse, or Valley Forge in Gettysburg. Whether you're looking for a romantic getaway or an active vacation full of sightseeing and attractions, the Historic Smithton Inn will be a welcoming oasis from everyday life, one that you'll want to visit again and again. Stop in and visit at 900 West Main Street in Ephrata, Pennsylvania, or check out our website at historicsmithtoninn.com, or simply call us at 717-733-6094. Just ask for Pastmaster Dave.
Masonic Lite podcast. This is Pastmaster Moyer calling. I know I've been out of action a couple weeks. I was upstate hunting turkeys. Was not successful. Anyway, I listened to episode 69. That's the episode with no name. I noticed once again Larry Maris, he talks in the beginning a little bit. He talks at the very end. And he likes to do the George J. Grove and Sons commercial. So maybe you guys ought to consider episode 76 with no Larry Maris. I mean, what do you have to lose? He's not contributing anyway. And I'm sure Tim Dedman can fill in for him because he's doing an outstanding job. Anyway, I'm going to try and listen to episode 70 tomorrow, and I'll be calling back. Bye.
And we're back. I'm not exactly sure what we're back to because we had a show planned, sort of, and then we found out.
And then we had our guest, who's a future celebrity.
What? Future celebrity. I like that. Yes.
I'm a wedding crasher. Full-time wedding crasher.
So anyway, but I think Joey will fit nicely into this, into the topic that we had scheduled. If we want to go there, do we want to go?
We want to go there. Yes.
All right. Do we want to go there now?
Let's go there right now.
All right. So the idea was that in my mind, and this is me, the serious guy, talking about Freemasonry, because I do the Masonic education at our lodge. I teach the guys the ritual work. I teach the new candidates what this means that they were going through. And I sort of broke it down into 5 aspects. And I don't know what else to call it, but aspects. Like, what are you looking for? Because I would ask them all when they join, what do you think this is? What are you looking for when you get here? And it's broken down into 5 things. And those 5 things are the ritual, the historical aspect, the philanthropic aspect, the fraternal aspect, and the esoteric. And those are 5 distinct, separate parts of the fraternity that anybody joining can find something that they're interested in one of those 5 things. And they're okay, there's more. There might be 6, there might be 8. In your world, there's whatever there is. But for me, it all broke down to those 5. And Joey, I don't know what it was that you were looking for when you joined, but what was it you were looking for when you joined? What did you think this was?
Not the ritual.
No, actually, it was.
Okay.
Actually, it was.
Right.
So my father had been on the path for many years, and due to some personal things, he stepped aside for the past little while. But aside from that, I joined just because I didn't know. I joined because I saw him going, and then I went. He took me to an open installation or two, and I was like, "This is the weirdest but coolest thing at the same time." And I remember being 16 years old, and the open installation. He was like, "You could sit outside of the annex while we go in and do our meeting before the doors opened." And I was like, what the hell goes on in there? And I pushed my ear up against the lodge door. And all I heard was the Star Spangled Banner being sung.
Right.
I was like, this is the weirdest shit. What? Excuse me, but this is the weirdest thing that I've ever come across. Like 85 men singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
For what? And I'm like, is it a baseball game, or were they playing Yahtzee in there?
For reals,
and,
though, right?
Yeah. So and then I started meeting people my own age, and then, well, not my own age, but younger than what I had thought.
We don't have a lot of 16-year-old members.
I started. No, there was like a music teacher that I met who in turn became my mentor for Ritual, and he taught me the first degree by rote, not by sitting down with a book and making me learn it. You know, I went every week for like 7 weeks.
Nice.
8 weeks.
Is that JP?
It wasn't. It was Drew Bullington.
Drew.
He's hands down the consummate Mason, and we'll get back to him in a minute.
Class guy, yeah.
But all of those things, man. I mean, since I've been in Boston, I got to go see the chapter that was essentially the Sons of Liberty. That's a historical thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got the Philanthropic thing, which is really awesome. It's like, well, you know, I was an Eagle Scout, so it's these charities that we've got going on. The Fraternal, obviously, is the only thing I get to exercise at the moment because it's like I'm traveling so much, and I really think that bit should be emphasized a bit more among members, and to bring the lodge outside of the lodge room, and to really bring that to your community rather than trying to beat each other in ritual. Because I had a conversation last night with a bunch of Masons that I highly respect and will always respect, but it's like, at what point is being a Mason counterintuitive to life? Because
ooh, wait, let that sink in for a minute.
I hope we recorded that.
Oh, did we get that? Josh, did we get that? We got that. Okay, cool.
No, seriously, at what point is it detrimental to your family life and to your mental health? And
it's only one night a month. Come on.
Yeah, but even if it was 16 nights a month or whatever, and you need that to learn the healthy balance. There's the yin and the yang. There's the white and the black. And people forget that, and you need to go and take the things that you've learned and go outside in the world and do it. And I think that's, I don't know, maybe I'm just pontificating, sounding like a royal wiener.
So what when Jack originally came up with this idea, I took it to the weird level because I'm a Dungeons and Dragons nerd. I said, well, you know, what if we assigned each one of those points, kind of like, or Fallout, whatever.
Sure.
So let's
like
have
attributes and
we have 15 points, and we have to distribute them among these 5 categories. And it was funny for like the 5 or 6 people that participated. We all had totally different scores.
I remember seeing that. It was on Facebook somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I remember
you
seeing
were one
that.
of the 4 people that saw it.
Yeah. Because I agreed with Tom LeBau's answer. I thought his was pretty spot on. But
we don't remember what that was.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Larry, you're giving dirty looks. Do you want to talk?
No. I'm
well,
thinking.
Thanks for being here, Larry.
I didn't answer that poll.
Yeah, we noticed that too.
You noticed that too. Give me a break.
So answer it now. How do you break down in that?
How do I break down?
How do you break that down?
My 45.
You've got 15 points. You got 15 points. Assign them to those 5 things.
So if it was all equal, you do 3, 3, 3, 3.
No. Okay, all right.
No, this is tough.
I'm not going to do equal 3, 3, 3.
It's like a quiz.
I'm not a ritual master. I believe in ritual. I believe it's absolutely necessary. I believe in ritual in the Lutheran and Episcopalian Church. I think it's a part of everything we do, but I'm not big on it. Okay.
So does that get a 1 or a 0?
That would get a 1.
Okay, 1.
Okay. The historical, I would have to say, is important, and that would get about a 3.
That's a 3.
Philanthropic, maybe a 1 or 2. Okay. Fraternal, definitely way up there. You know, if I'm trying to get an equal 15, I'd have to say fraternal would be 4 or 5. Very, very important.
Okay.
Especially for people that travel all over the place to find brothers.
Right.
Extremely important. One of the keystones of our craft. And the esoteric is kind of up there too. I'd have to say that would be a 3 because I like the voodoo stuff.
You should write a book or something. That'd be cool.
When Michelle comes on the show and does her symbology, whoa,
I know you get all.
Yeah, don't we all? But no, seriously. So now I participated. But at the time when Pete posted it,
Larry, I agree with you wholeheartedly because without those other things, the Fraternal's nothing. But without Fraternal, everything else is nothing. Because if you think about it this way, going to the lodge meeting and going to your Masonic education and sitting around at the bar after the meeting just talking about what you talked about and what you read online about whatever and reading your book, that's only half of it. That's like going to college or getting your PhD and then just sitting there and becoming a college professor immediately and then just sitting around with your egghead professor friends going, well, I think this and I think that, and not actually taking it out into the world and putting that degree to use and trying to go meet other people from other parts of the world that aren't even Masons, but garnering that information because our brothers have passed. We're traveling and we're in the world with non-Masons, and most of the people were not Masons, and they were learning from those people. And the reason why we were good men being better was because we were taking that information and helping our community and helping those people with the information we garnered from this. Right.
Pete, are you stunned?
Yes. Now, for me, I mean, obviously, I can't add to 15 right now, but I was told there'd be no math. But I would definitely put Fraternal as the big one for me. And everything else kind of equal, maybe Philanthropic kind of down a little bit further because, Jack, you and I have said here, we're not a charitable organization. We're an organization of charitable people.
Yes.
And, I can donate money to MDA on my own.
Right.
And I do. So, the other stuff I can't get from just, donating money. So,
yeah, mine has shifted a little bit. I've always enjoyed the ritual because I think in the ritual there is a great deal of support for a man in his life, if you look for it in the right way. The historical, I find that really fascinating. There's so much mythology about it, and all of my Templar friends would like to go swing their broadswords around. But the facts that are really tangible are the fact that it was probably a trade union, and we came out of that, and how that morphed into what we are now. But there was a recent post about the death of Freemasonry and is it obsolete and are we done? And I posted something about it's always changed, and we've talked about that before.
It's just on life support. We're good.
No. It's not. It's changing because men need something different now. It's changing from that post World War II, pig in a python that are fading out now, are passing on to the Celestial Lodge. And what they wanted was the fraternity. They wanted that I'm going to call it PTSD support, right? They wanted to meet with people who understood where they were coming from. And they got together in this fraternity, and it was a club life thing. And that's passing now, and it's coming back around to the philosophical aspect that guys like you, Joey, are looking for, that philosophical aspect. How does this change my life? How should I think about this in reflection of what's happening to me in my life? And that's where we're coming out now. And that historical part of it kind of rolls around to all of the other aspects of it. We are philanthropic, but that's not the core of what we do. And like you said, we're an organization that teaches its members to be philanthropic, just as a part of what you should do to be a good person. And that goes into the fraternal aspect, and we pull other people in, and we all do that together, and we support each other. But the last thing on that list, the esoteric side of it, has captured my attention most recently, because I started listening, and Todd, you just asked me, we had somebody else walk into our studio, Todd Hoke, he's the worshipful master of
the building where we're in.
Of the building we're in. And Todd asked me about the podcast that I'm listening to, and it's called The Secret History of Western Esotericism podcast.
Jeez.
Schwepp. And it basically it starts with the pre-Socratics and works itself all the way through. I know, but the guys who wrote this work, the guys who wrote the ritual that we all recite, were studying that stuff. They were reading Plato, and they were reading Cicero, and they were reading the Greeks in Greek, and they were reading the Latins in Latin, the Romans in Latin, and they were reading the Hebrews in Hebrew.
It's still all Greek to me.
It's
Jack,
but it's not. It's not, because like the other day we had and I don't know how much of the ceremony I can talk about, but I can't do it. I can't go there. But what I'm finding is that all of what we study in Freemasonry goes back to those Greek myths and those stories about, walking down a path into the underworld where you enter a chamber that's lit by a particular light, and you find the knowledge, you find the truth, and then you come back out of the underworld and you enter into the, it's all there. That's what this is. But it's couched in a different language because, it's under the guise of this Masonic, this stonemason history that we deal with. So that esoteric part of it for me right now is huge. Not because I need it in my life. I was looking for that when I was 20, but I'm not looking for that now. But it's come across my path, and that's what's striking me. So anyway, the 5 aspects are ritual, historical, philanthropic, fraternal, and esoteric.
And Jack is available for speaking at any lodge anywhere in the United States. Just
and
give
I have
him a call.
and I can incorporate all 5 of those into a discussion of the Holy Saints John, by the way. Thank you very much.
For those states that have more than one St. John.
Yeah, which is not Pennsylvania.
Let's take a
Did I bore you enough? Is that good?
Well, I'm going to take a quick break, open a vein, and I'll be back.
Why choose George J. Grove & Sons for your next home improvement project? At George J. Grove & Sons, we've built our reputation on quality and trust for more than 50 years. From planning to materials to installation, George J. Grove promises a home improvement experience second to none. Whether your goal is reducing energy costs, decreasing maintenance, updating curb appeal, or simply increasing the value of your home, the George J. Grove team will recommend and provide solutions that stand the test of time. Call 717-393-0859 for an estimate, or visit us at georgejgrove.com.
It's time for the Lodge Business Brief with Brother Jim Stevens.
Well, again, Masonic Lite podcast listeners, this is Jim Stevens with another Lodge Business Brief. Today I want to talk about goal setting. Goal setting ensures an organization, a family, or a person has a consistent direction for not only this year, but many years in the future. It sets a destination and gives us a target for our travels. Goals are critically important in our business, personal, and fraternal lives, but goal setting is all too often not done inside our lodges. The problem created by a lack of goals are magnified by our fraternity's annual or biannual changing in the East. If a series of worshipful masters are not working together, they run the risk of repeating, or worse, undoing what previous masters have done. Nothing could be more wasteful than undoing previously completed work. A lodge that has properly set a goal will have a higher chance of having several consecutive, productive, and successful years. This succession will spawn more success, possibly attract new members, and will definitely breathe new life into an otherwise stagnant lodge. Now you may be thinking, how can we have a central goal? Each worshipful master has the right to set their own agenda and the right to have their year. I assure you that these ideas are not mutually exclusive, but can in fact work together for the success of the lodge. To do this, the lodge needs to first agree on the goal. In my book, I talk about the lodge first setting and defining its purpose. But for now, let's just talk about goals. The goal we are looking to set is called a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. The term was first created by Jim Collins and Jerry Paris in their 1995 book, Built to Last: Successful Habits of Visionary Companies. In business, the idea behind the BHAG is to set a goal that is out 10 to 30 years, and that the company has about a 70% chance of succeeding. The BHAG is then so big that it propels the company forward with such force that even in failure, the company will be much better than when it started. For a Blue Lodge, I would suggest a smaller time frame, maybe 3 to 5 years would be a good start. This will ensure that the goal goes through multiple masters, but isn't so long as to seem impossible. What makes a good goal? Well, for one, it should be measurable. That way you know if you're staying on the path. It should be actionable. It makes no sense to create a goal that is entirely outside your control. It should be specific. The more general goals like making more members do not provide enough clarity nor understanding. Once your lodge has set the BHAG, the next step is to set annual goals that are smaller. Each year will make progress and improve on the previous years. The first year or two will see a very small increase, so plan accordingly. Additional detailed information on goal setting, processes to find that goal, can be found in my book, Lodge Business, the theoretical application of entrepreneurial business practices to Blue Lodge, available on Amazon. This is Jim Stevens with your Lodge Business Brief.
This is Brother John D. Cook, District Deputy Grand Master, District 3. You are listening to Masonic Lite Podcast.
Do we want to continue to talk about the 5 aspects?
Well, maybe I don't think we need to talk about it.
I was soapboxing,
but I think we should probably officially put it out to our listeners.
Stick a fork in it?
Just to kind of figure out where, I would like to figure out where the majority of people are.
Larry's asleep.
I don't think there's a majority.
That's where he is.
I think everybody's got a little piece of each of these in them that they're looking for, and I don't think there's any one thing. Larry, what do you think?
I think.
I'm glad you do.
What was the question again?
Yes.
What? Yeah, put it out there.
Get that thing out there, would you?
Get it out.
Oh my God!
So if you're listening,
what does "get it out" mean? What are we going to do with this information? We have
nothing.
This.
We're just compiling it.
We're just BSing around a microphone.
Once again, Jack Harley is available for speaking at any lodge in the United States.
Josh has to turn this into his shows somehow. So
okay, so let's just start plugging some stuff. Here's the most important thing we have to plug is, so this show will be released on 27th of May. So if you're hearing this on the 27th, 28th, that means you have time to come out here on 5/29 and help us paint our studio. We're having an insert,
and we have a grill. So we can,
Yeah, we're having an in-service day. We're not going to record. We're just going to clean up the studio, hang drapes. I don't know, do whatever we got to do.
We might record a little.
Hang drapes.
But we may actually record some spots, and if you come in, you can record a bumper with us.
There you go.
Yeah.
You could be regionally famous.
Moderately.
100 air.
Lodge in the Woods?
Lodge in the Woods. We have a couple of plugs we got to do. Lodge in the Woods. September, God, what is the date? September 18th, I believe, is the date. I'm quick circulating on my phone here. May, June, July, August, September 18th is the date for Lodge in the Woods. Lodge in the Woods is a fun event. It is a steak dinner with all the trimmings, dessert, all the good stuff, and a lodge meeting afterwards at the Fire Circle at Camp Mac, the J. Edward Mack Scout Reservation in Newmanstown, Pennsylvania. And we usually have between 250 and 300 people for this meeting. Grand Lodge of Pennsylvania shows up. The Grand Master's here. Most of the Grand Line is there. Most of the district deputies in the area are present. And we have dinner and a great time. It's just a nice night under the stars. Beautiful event. Contact the Worshipful Master of Ephrata Lodge number 665. Look it up on eventbrite.com and just search for Lodge in the Woods 2019. And you can find your tickets there.
And the dress is always business casual because we're in the woods, right?
Business is even a stretch. It's casual. It's scout uniform or business casual is what it says. Just show up. We don't care. Pants preferred, for sure.
Perfect.
The other thing that we wanted to talk about was Patreon.
So I want to celebrate. We have a lot of people that are Patreon patrons of our show. And I got more excited because a couple weeks ago, we got our first $1 donor.
Woohoo!
I was actually more excited. Now, I got $13 donors. Please don't stop donating. We love you.
Yeah, we
love you 13 times better.
Love you a long time.
But for $1 a month, it sounds like Sally Struthers. No, it's just,
your wife won't even know.
Yeah, your wife won't even know it's coming out of your account. It's like half the price of a cup of coffee. For $1 a month, $12 a year, you can help us pay the rent to Ephrata Lodge 665.
It's not even rent to Ephrata Lodge. We've got to pay for website, domain names, and internet providers and all that kind of stuff. So
ICE.
Very little of it, in fact, goes to Ephrata Lodge. But we do appreciate everything that you can contribute to help keep us on the air and out of jail.
And if you go to MasonicLite.com, there's a big P in the top right-hand corner for Patreon.
Yeah, P.
Very easy. Also, that's my name, too.
P.
People can also write a check and send it to us without going to Patreon, too, if you don't want to do
check
that.
Payable to Larry.
Larry, we're the Masons. You have to send a check. You can't send us money electronically, remember? That's what Joey said.
That'll be 37 shekels to...
Oh, Josh, you've been really quiet. Is there anything you think we should cover?
Nope.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Are you a member?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I didn't know that.
Josh is senior warden of that other lodge in Lancaster.
The lodge you don't belong to.
Lamberton.
Yeah.
Well played.
476. Because I didn't remember if you were when I was here last. I just thought you were a super cool podcast guy. But I was like, oh, cool.
He looks good in the headphones.
He does. Looks great. Audio guy.
He talks too much.
Cool. Was the other guy here when Joey was here? I believe so, wasn't it?
When Joey, you were in our basement, weren't you? In my basement?
No,
No,
I
he's
was
at the studio.
in Lancaster City.
With Mason.
In the very first.
Yeah, he made me come in at like 9 a.m.
That
to
was
do
Mason.
Yeah, so that was
Kibler.
Mason, who was not a Mason.
Yeah, Mason Kibler.
it. Right, so there's a different cat. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
because I couldn't remember if the technician.
Yeah, so I mean, God bless him. He thought he was a great idea. He wanted to open up a podcast studio.
Nice.
It's okay. All these white guys look alike, Joey. I understand.
Joey's...
Dude, in my
Josh-
defense, it's
Josh
been like
is dying back here.
It's been 4 years since I've been on this thing. So
Yeah, it has been 4 years.
I know. I ran into you in the parking lot. At
In the
Masonic
microphone,
Center.
Josh.
really,
I ran into Joey at the.
dude, his
at
voice
the,
is so good.
He's got the
Masonic
best voice,
Center.
and he doesn't talk.
In the Masonic Center parking lot. When?
Yeah, I think I was coming out of a meeting, and I think you were rolling up with some friends or something. You were just parking there.
He was on a skateboard, and he comes rolling up.
rolling.
No, no, my father never let me have a skateboard because he goes, you break your arm on that thing, you can't play music anymore.
Oh my God.
So they took our jobs.
Take our gerbs.
Took our jobs.
Oh, Larry. So what do you have coming up? Anything?
And I think we have cedars
Fourth Tuesday is Cedar. Oh, no. June 15th
Which
is the
I
next.
will, in fact, miss.
So we don't have a Cedars in May because that's when we have our convention.
Okay.
So the next Cedars meeting is actually going to be June 15th. It'll be a picnic at my house.
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Jack, you and Chris Gibson can both be terrified of my dogs together.
Nice. I
And
love
whoever
it.
can run faster doesn't get bitten.
I just need to run faster than Chris. Nice.
Now you're younger, but he's like Mr. Eagle Scout, so he may.
He hikes Philmont in 3 days.
I got 2 fake hips. I'm not going to outrun anybody.
Oh my God.
Oh, Josh, anything going on in Lamberton? Does that lodge still have a charter?
As far as I know.
This week. Anyway.
I've got to do 2 committees of inquiry.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
But
that would imply there's new members.
Right.
Nice. Yes.
Do you have any good questions you're going to ask them?
Josh nods
No.
at the microphone.
I always mix this one in, and just to see if I can get a reaction. Like, do you have a crock pot?
Oh God.
And yes.
I have a waffle iron.
And I just like, well, people don't underestimate the benefits of slow cooking.
Okay, so I have a funny committee of inquiry story if you have the moment.
No, we do.
Okay, so Jesus, it was mine. It was my committee that I was being inquired upon, and my dad had already been a Mason for a number of years, and he goes, "They're coming. 3 of them are coming." And I went, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, we signed for you." It was him and his best friend, and he was a Mason as well. And I think you know Josh Sad, you know him. He was my second line signer, and they're like, "Well, it's 3 people that you don't know. It's 3 old guys probably, and they don't respect a shitty house. Excuse me, they don't respect. So you got to go out to the front of the lawn and pick every weed from our property line to the next property line."
What a jerk.
And he made me edge the front yard,
Oh,
and
I
he made
love
me
your
do
father
all this
more.
stuff. And he was like, "You need to make sure you have coffee ready. You need to make sure you have water bottles and cookies out on the table. And you need to make sure it's like this whole." I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!" So I'm there like 2 days before, like on my knees, like no shirt on in the front yard in my driveway, pulling out every stray piece of grass. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is nuts." And here it was 3 young dudes, and we just talked about progressive rock music for about 45 minutes, and then they left. It was hilarious.
Props to your dad. Oh my god.
Good for him. At least that was probably the last time the lawn was mowed.
It was true.
Jack, we have news?
We have news. Do we want to go to news now?
Let's just go to news.
Let's go to news.
Go to chickens and get out of here.
Go to news. Chickens out.
What's chickens?
Good news, everyone!
Masonic Lite News. News not fit to print.
In a great leap forward for the Masonic fraternity, the Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Lower Indiana has issued an edict ordering the immediate removal of all traces of faux wood paneling from lodges in that jurisdiction. The edict goes on to explain that nothing says obsolete to a new initiate, quite like 60-year-old fake wood decor. In a related sign of Masonic progress, the Grand Lodge of Eastern Nebraska is considering the removal of naked fluorescent light fixtures in lodge social halls.
"They're gross,"
said the Grand Steward.
"They just don't do justice to the green beans."
That's the Masonic news. So mote it was.
Oh.
This was online, wasn't it? I think I saw that somewhere.
Sorry.
That is the
I'm so
funniest.
sorry. I'm ashamed. I'm sorry.
But it really is true. Our
Oh my God.
You guys have made this lodge the envy of. It's beautiful. Everything here is beautiful. At the Masonic Center for years, somebody had a sign that said, "Please hang up the camel, the cable toes." but
you said it.
but it was like cable TOE. It was cable toes.
Yeah.
And I was just
No,
like,
but the best part about I remember that sign because it was an old English lettering.
Yes!
It was they
took the time to do calligraphy.
Yeah, it was an old English lettering. It was so stupid.
And I just imagine the candidate who has no idea what's going to happen. We're putting him in polyester.
Oh, you sure you want to do that? It's 85 degrees out, sir.
So when we walk you in there, don't get too close to the candles. All right, Larry.
Chickens, please.
What do you have, Joey? What do you have? Anything Masonic coming up next couple weeks?
I haven't been to a Masonic meeting in 3 years. No,
I know some guys in Boston.
No, I've been trying to hit up a meeting. Amicable Lodge in Cambridge, Massachusetts is the place to be if you're in the Massachusetts or New England area. Go check those guys out. They're awesome. They have a great York Rite body there as well. Very active, more active than their Blue Lodge actually.
Where's that? Amicable.
Cambridge. It's right. It's
okay.
They have a little college there, don't they?
What?
Nice.
A college?
It's like 1950 Mass Ave or something, way up on the other side.
All right.
But anyway, nothing too Masonic other than living it outside in my normal day, buying people cups of coffee and, trying to be nice.
Find sanity in Los Angeles, please.
But no, music. Got a bunch of dates up and down the East Coast, West Coast, all the every place. So check out Redwood Honey. Check out Berkeley.
We have to have a secret sign we can throw you from the audience, and you can for the Masons.
I wore my Grotto shirt to the Redwood Honey concert.
I'm starting to be able to do that. I'm starting to be able to bring a fez on stage and put it on the amp. So
nice.
Oh, nice.
I'll start doing that soon. But
Larry, you have anything going on? Just Grotto, right?
Yeah, Grotto. No, just Grotto.
Josh, anything else coming up? No, Jack.
Nope. Going to Germany, and I have contacted the secretary of Saxony Lodge in Celle, Germany, in Lower Saxony, I think is where it's located. But yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm going. My cousin. His nickname's Mickey, but his real name's a very Indian name that I'm not going to mispronounce. But I'm very excited because I'm going to go to an Indian Mehendi party and a wedding, and I'm
nice.
In Central Pennsylvania, I don't get a lot of different cultures. It's either Mennonite or Puerto Rican. That's what we had. That's our main population here, so it's gonna be kind of cool.
There's not a lot of henna in the Mennonite tradition.
No,
so you get like the whole hand thing done and all that.
But I mean,
are they gonna have alcohol? That's what I have to find out.
Pete's the worshipful master of Couch Lodge number 13. He's doing great work for the Dober Monsters. But thanks for having me, Pete and Larry and Jack.
Thanks for coming
in.
Yeah,
great.
Thank you.
Larry, take us out of here.
All right. I don't have a whole lot to say tonight, but I will give special thanks to Fraternal Lodge 665 for continuing and for Todd Hook, Worshipful Master, checking in on us to see what our needs are. He's a great guy, great lodge. The envy of Pennsylvania. Anyway, thanks to Josh Lamberton, our producer who makes the show always listenable.
Yay.
Thanks to our news director, Jack Harley. Jack Harley.
Who is that?
Harley.
What was that?
Who is available for speaking to any lodge in the United States. Simply contact him at the Everett Lodge in Everett, Pennsylvania. Our special contributors, Michelle Snyder, Jim Stevens, is going to be coming up with some ditties lately. And also...
what's going on with that monkey?
Yeah, monkey. To our Masonic Lite complaint. You know what? I'm not even going to do this.
Oh, come on,
Larry.
Wait for this for an hour, Larry.
Joey's dying. Joey's dying.
This is special for me.
To our Masonic Lite complaint operator, Xavier Brett. This is Larry saying good night and thanks for listening.
This is Pete.
This is Josh.
And Jack.
I don't know who I am anymore.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.